You know, there's always a first. And today is going to be one of those days where my first love for Bordeaux happened when I tasted the 1990 Cheval Blanc. It was like, you know, the Red Sea parted, the heavens opened. I mean, it was one of the most amazing experiences I've ever had. And every time I've had the 90 Cheval Blanc, which is really not that many times, but every time I did have it, it's been the same experience. We haven't done this, at least in my 20 years of being with Wine Exchange, but I know they did it before because that's where I bought the 90 Cheval Blanc, was at the original Wine Exchange. And I remember at that time, the first gross were selling for like $69.99, but the Cheval Blanc was like $79.99. And I'm like, am I gonna pony up the extra $10 for the 90 Cheval Blanc? That was a gift for my birthday when someone said you can pick any wine you want. And that was the wine I picked, based on what my colleagues, now my colleague, and my friend at the time was telling me, this is what you want to drink. And man, oh. Cheval Blanc is one of the hottest wines right now in Bordeaux. When we offer it on pre-arrival, it sells out every year. Boom, gone, you know, in futures. And the reason why is because they are making some of the best wines they've ever made at the Chateau, and they've been very consistent at that. You know, I have a glass here, and I have the bottle, and I have a wine opener, and I know my partner's going to kill me, but I'm opening this bottle because I have to try this wine, because all the critics are talking about how great the 2021 Cheval Blanc is, how it is the wine of the vintage, how it is like the Cheval Blanc of old, how there's more Cabernet Franc in the Cheval Blanc than there's been in the last like 10, 15 years. And I'm gonna open it. Yes, sirree, Bob.
Dude, seriously, what in the hell are you doing?
I'm opening this bottle.
Dude, you know,
Yeah, no, it's not cheap.
do you know how much?
My birthday's coming up, okay?
Yeah, coming up.
It's too late now. Grab a glass. 2021 Cheval Blanc. Basically, oh, thank you.
You get to talk to bookkeeping about this one.
Exactly. And bookkeeping is
Yeah.
scary. William Kelly actually likes this better than 2020. And basically, most of the pundits call this the wine of the vintage. It's kind of like they're like, what happened at Cheval Blanc in 2021 that the wine is just a mind bomb. Oh my gosh. I need a moment here. Sorry. You know, in 1947, Cheval Blanc made one of the greatest wines. It's like world renowned. But to get a bottle of that wine, you're gonna have to pony up probably $15,000, $20,000 a bottle. Okay. In '52, they were, when St. Emilion had its classification, a Grand Cru Class A, kind of like the first growths of the left bank. Cheval Blanc was just that. It was the first, along with Chateau, to be classified as a first growth in St. Emilion. But in 2021, they decided, you know what? We're not doing this classification thing anymore. They're out, as well as Ossone, as well as Angelus, in fact. Don't really know the reason, but my guess is that, you know, now they're making Sauvignon Blanc at Cheval Blanc, and their Cheval Blanc is fantastic, which we always carry it every year. So this is essentially 52% Cabernet Franc, the rest Merlot, and a little bit of, I think, Cabernet Sauvignon. Now, what makes Cheval Blanc so special is they're on what is called the Golden Triangle in Saint-Emilion. No other terroir in Saint-Emilion, other than Figeac, has part of this Golden Triangle. This Golden Triangle consists of gravel over clay. And that gravel bed, it's so funny because it starts and stops. And I remember I was at La Dominique, which is the neighbor of Cheval Blanc. The gravel bed stops, and I remember they were replanting, and I asked Gwendolyn Lucas, who manages La Dominique, I'm like, oh, you must be planting Cabernet Franc there. She's like, no, we're planting Merlot. I'm like, really? I'm like, Cheval Blanc. She's like, yeah, we're not on the Golden Triangle. And that Golden Triangle is what makes this wine so special. Cabernet Franc is good on limestone, but it's better on the Golden Triangle. And so, boom, there you have it.
You know, nothing else tastes like this. You know, the only wine that does actually, when you taste this, is now Carmes.
A little bit.
When you taste this, you're like, oh, so that's what Carmes is going for. Carmes Aubryon, which is amazing.
Yeah.
But you taste this, you're like, oh, okay, Carmes, I hear you. This stuff's amazing. Yay.
Man.
Thank you for effing up our budget.
Sorry.
No, it was beautiful.
God, just the nose on this wine is just a sexy beast. I mean, Cabernet Franc is so exotic when it's done like this. And like Kyle says, you know, Carmes is trying to get to this kind of style. But different terroirs there, you know, but a lot of gravel, like the Golden Triangle. I mean, it's a special place. And there's a reason, you know, that Cheval is what it is, you know. I mean, you remember Sideways? The wine that he was drinking at the end of the movie? Cheval Blanc. When he hated Merlot, but guess what? It's half Merlot. It's kind of a little bit of a tricky thing there that they did in the movie. Anyway, the wine. It's ethereal. I don't know what else to say, you know? I can give you it's got, you know, blue fruits and tobacco and all these like nuances that are going on and spices and all that kind of stuff. And that's true, because it does have all that stuff going on, but it is something of a different level. It's just its own thing. But what's really cool about 21 is, you have most of the pundits are basically calling wine the vintage, and really a freak. Pierre-Olivier Clouet, he's like the main guy at Cheval Blanc. He's the guy really in charge of making the wine, you know. Basically says he likes it better than the 2020. You know, 2020 was like, I think it was 100 points. But this multiple 98-point scores. What is really cool about this wine, it is going to be the last year that you will have Grand Cru Class A on the label. Because again, they're no longer participating in the Saint-Emilion Grand Cru, Class A, B, whatever, you know. So a little bit of a collector's situation. The other thing is, you know, Cheval Blanc, when they were coming out on futures, you know, let's say 10 years ago, 12 years ago, they were always the highest price. They were higher in the first gross, you know. But of late, I don't know if it's a decision, you know, made by LVMH or, you know, whoever, but they're actually coming out at a very reasonable price. When you look at this compared to wines like, you know, Screaming Eagle or Harlan or all these other brands that are now selling for over $1,000. I mean, this is $499.98. Yeah, it's not cheap, but there's nothing like it in the world. There's nothing like it. And that's actually, for Cheval Blanc, it's cheap. And actually, when you look at wines that actually appreciate in value, Cheval Blanc is one of those wines that appreciates greatly in value over time, especially great vintages. And it's a secret vintage. That's the thing about 2021, and especially for this wine in particular. It's a secret vintage that this wine they killed it. You know, it's like 83 Palmer. Everyone talks about 83, oh, it's not a great vintage. Well, 83 Palmer is a great wine. It's the same thing with 2021 Cheval Blanc. This wine will age effortlessly for, you know, decades. But it's really good right now. And the staff is going to be really happy, including cameraman, because he gets to drink Cheval Blanc tonight. Anyways, again, like and subscribe. Normally we don't do this. This is crazy, I know, but we have wine to sell, and it's here. And it's in these, hold on, it's in these wonderful 6-packs that we can ship, a whole 6. So, again, thank you for your business. We're moving to Thanksgiving. Have a wonderful Thanksgiving week. Tasting machines are open in case you guys got nothing to do next week. Come on in and try some wines. And yeah, have a good weekend.